Good evening. You're listening to Peace FM Radio Maiduguri. I'm Zulay Salisu Mustafa presenting alongside the convener, Dr. Mahmoud Bukarmaina.
Hello, welcome to the first episode of our Ask the Scientist program in Nigeria, which is going to focus on finding cure for cancer using medicinal plants. I am Mahmoud Bukarmaina, an emerging scientist based at the University of Sussex, and with us here today is Professor Issa Hussaini Marte, who is a fellow of the Nigerian Academy of Science and fellow of the African Academy of Science. We are so excited that we have him here with us today.
Our listeners can call this number to ask our professor anything that is pertaining his research. The number you can get through us is 24419254. I'll start the questions, Prof. Then I think if Dr. Mahmoud is ready, he can ask the next question. We'll start from your recent research, Doctor. Prof, pardon me. Tell us about this research.
Thank you very much, Mahmoud, for the kind introduction. My research here in the University of Maiduguri, it's investigating the efficacy and also toxic effects of Nigerian medicinal plants. We started with brain tumors, but now we have also tested the medicinal plants on breast cancer cells as well as cervical cancer cells. So in essence, we are trying to use medicinal plants to treat cancer.
So can you tell us why is this research important, Prof?
Cancer is the second leading cause of death. The number one killer is cardiovascular diseases. And in some countries, cancer is now the number one killer. And as we Nigerians live longer, more than 40, 50 years, you will see that the incidence of cancer is on the increase. So that's why it's really important to find cure for cancer.
Can you tell us why you combine medicinal plants with cancer research?
Number one answer is that there is no cure for cancer. So any avenue that one uses to find treatment, it's important. But to bring it here home to Nigeria, we have lots of medicinal plants, and people have used medicinal plants for treatment of so many diseases for years and years, hundreds of years. And according to World Health Organization, in Africa, almost 80% of the people, they use medicinal plants. And the potential of really medicinal plants in the cure for cancer, it's great here. And we have not exploited most of our medicinal plants. Less than 5%, 5% have been tested. So that's why I'm really excited to find molecules or even crude extracts in the treatment of medicinal cancer.
So, some people take medicinal plants to treat their illness. While I understand your research, you use cell models and animal models to test the efficacy of medicinal plants. How is that relevant for human studies?
In our case, we took a smart approach because instead of just looking for medicinal plants anyhow, we asked the herbalists. These herbalists have already tested these plants in humans. And the cell lines in my lab, they are human cell lines. So after that, you go into animal models, or you can even go straight to clinical trials, because cancer is a deadly disease, and we don't have the time to wait.
Using human.
Yes. So, and also, usually it's better you start with cell lines, and the cell lines you can extrapolate it to humans, or to animal models.
So you have an understanding with the herbal people. Is that what you're trying to say, Prof?
Yes. Actually, in my team, I have pharmacists. I'm a pharmacist. I'm a pharmacologist. And also I have medical doctors, surgeons, gynecologists, pathologists. And most importantly, we have a herbalist, Engineer Ali Musa, who is a consultant herbalist in our group. So he is our eyes, in identifying which plants are effective in humans. So they are already doing the clinical trials, actually, even though without any controls. So in our own case, we want to validate scientifically what they are doing.
Why brain tumor? Why did you start from brain tumor?
Yeah, when I was in the United States, my research was mainly on brain tumors, focus. The deadliest cancer is pancreatic cancer. If you have pancreatic cancer, especially malignant form, you have 6 months to live, followed by brain tumors. And if you have glioblastoma multiforme, a form of brain tumors, you have 12 to 14 months to live. So when I was in the US, I focused on brain tumor because there you don't just do everything, you have to focus. So when I came here, there are very few cases of brain tumors. So we have expanded the research to cover prostate, breast, and cervical cancer.
Okay. Listeners, you can call and ask the Prof questions. The number to call is 2441-9254.
Prof, can you share some of your findings with us?
Yes. So initially, when we started in 2012, we screened 65 medicinal plants, and out of that, we found 35 to be effective, 15 on brain tumors, 20 breast cancer. And after further analysis, now we have 10 that are extremely effective. And we have compared those with orthodox medicine. They are far, far better, far, far effective in vitro. So we are talking of the research we are doing in the lab. We have not tested that in animal models. But one of them from black caraway, we isolated a compound called thymoquinone. It's very effective even in animal models, better than drugs that are used clinically to treat brain tumor or manage brain tumors and breast cancer. The 10 plants we have now that show good anti-cancer activities, we have tested them for toxicity. And 8 of them are very safe, really safe. And we went as high as 5 grams per kilogram. 5 grams per kilogram, that's really high. And we found that they were not toxic. The animals did not die and no sign of toxicities. But there are reports actually that some people have been sick taking medicinal plants. So one of the goals of my lab is not only saying that these drugs are very effective in cancer treatment, but also we give the herbalist the right dosage. The dosage at which the patient is safe. But we have done all the animal studies and we know the toxicity margin of these plants. As I said, 8 out of 10, they are very safe. Even the other 2, up to 2 grams per kilogram, they are safe.
But you have not tested on humans yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
But the herbalists have been giving. Our next phase is the clinical trial, and I was invited in 2017 to African Clinical Trial Summit in Lagos, and the aim is really to test these extracts or plants in clinical trial phase.
So let's deviate a little bit. Can you tell us how did your interest in science develop?
Actually, my interest in mathematics led me to science. And science, I went to pharmacy. And pharmacology actually excited me when I was in the university at Ahmadu Bello University, because we were trying to find mechanisms, how these compounds, how these drugs act. So that's really what stimulated my interest in science. Then immediately after my undergraduate training, I decided to go for PhD, then master's first followed by PhD. And from there, my passion for science grew, especially when I was in King's College, University of London.
So, after your PhD in King's College, did you return back to Nigeria or you went to the United States for your research?
Actually, I came to Nigeria. I was at the University of Maiduguri for 6 months after my PhD, but I got a postdoctoral fellowship. In United States and UK, after your PhD, you don't just go and get permanent appointment. You have to go through training, which is called postdoctoral training. So when I had that opportunity, I went to University of Virginia. I spent 3 years, then returned back to Nigeria, Ahmadu Bello University at that time. And I found that in Nigeria, research was not appreciated. I tried to get a grant for just 20,000 naira. I couldn't get it. So when another opportunity came, I was offered a permanent position, so I moved to United States. And in less than 2 years, I got a research funding of $500,000. By the time I left US, I had a funding of $4.6 million, not naira. That's 1.8 billion naira for my lab alone. So Nigeria, we don't appreciate research, but in United States, England, people appreciate research.
That leads me to our next question, Prof. Why is it important to have people invest in scientific research?
Because science, especially research, is the driver of development. Any country, any society, any community that ignores science and research is doomed in the future. That society or country will be dependent, will be a parasite.
We'll take this call now, then we can continue with our discussions. Hello? Evening. Who is speaking, please?
Yes, my name is Mala. I'm calling from Bonica Chitari.
Okay, Mala, you can ask your question.
Prof, to ask the question, Prof, what it is to come back to Nigeria? So most of the people, when they went overseas, when they found everything is settled over there, why was the reason for it to come back? That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Yes,
we can take that and you can continue with your discussion, then you answer the question after.
Okay.
Yes. So we were talking about research investment.
Yes,
research.
it's very important. Like in United States, the National Institutes of Health, which has 27 institutes doing research, their budget for 1 year is $30 billion US. That's 10 trillion Nigerian naira just for research. That's why most of the Nobel laureates, they are from United States. And most breakthroughs, they come from United States, Japan, and Europe, because they invest. And we in Nigeria, who are not doing any research, we just buy. We are consumers. We are not producers. So if we don't change this mindset, we'll always be like that.
Why are you back in Nigeria?
I was really comfortable in the United States. I had a very good job, a permanent job, tenured job. But when University of Maiduguri invited me to come and save the pharmacy program, I decided to return back to save my own faculty, because University of Maiduguri trained me. So as a way of giving back, that's why I returned in 2009. I did a sabbatical here. Then after that, I took a permanent appointment. And anyone who goes to University of Maiduguri and sees the Faculty of Pharmacy will see that we have done a great job. So it's I don't really regret coming back, even though I gave a lot to come back. But patriotism, and also to pay back, what the university did to me during my training. That's why I returned back to Nigeria. But in my lab, I have already transferred technology. All what I was doing in the United States is now in the lab. Especially the cancer tissue culture facility is the only one in Nigeria, it's the only one in West Africa. But most people here, they don't appreciate it. But still, because I'm committed to science, I'm committed to research, I have devoted my life here to train youth, younger people, so that when I retire, they will replace me.
So, maybe I should ask, what advice do you have for aspiring scientists as well as emerging scientists like myself?
Thank you, Mahmoud. Really, the future of this country is with the youth. And when I see people like you, Yunusa, and others that I trained in Ahmadu Bello University and here, I really have good feelings that the future is going to be bright. The most important thing in research is you must have a passion. You must love what you are doing. And as you know, once you discover something in the lab, however small that thing is, the euphoria you get, the excitement of being the first to discover the thing really should excite you. And if a young person is not excited with findings, with research, that place is not for him. Money, you are not going to make a lot of money unless if you move to United States or UK, because as a good scientist, you will be earning over $200,000 per year in US. So, but here, really passion, you have to be driven so that you don't become disappointed, because, research in science, sometimes we have failures. Sometimes you get good results, sometimes you get bad results. But with passion and all this thing, you won't be discouraged. So most importantly, passion, and also the zeal for publication. You have to publish. In the United States, they say publish or perish. So really it's important to have passion, then publications in good journals.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who are we speaking with, please? Hello? Who? Yes, you can ask the Prof.
Yes, because one of the major problems in Nigeria is lack of power. So that's why I decided to go that route. So I have a lab, and we have about 45 solar panels, and we have inverters, about 10 kVA. And since October 2015, we have had constant electricity every single second. Without that, there is no way you can do the type of research we are doing, state-of-the-art research. So that's the first problem that I solved.
Hello, yes? We can hear you. Hello? Hello? We can hear you. You can ask the Prof. My question, Prof, is you talked about training young scientists, and I don't know, do you have any stumbling blocks, or the ride is smooth? People are complaining.
Research is never smooth. That's why it's exciting, full of challenges. And if it's just plain, always you're successful, it's not going to be exciting. So the first problem I faced here, really, it's that of electricity. But as a fellow of Nigerian Academy of Science, I presented my talk, and then a gentleman, actually, General T.Y. Njuma, happened to be there. And one of the challenges I put there was lack of electricity. So he funded the whole power problems for my lab. So it's a problem. And also getting good reagents. And Dr. Mahmoud knows this very well.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, yes?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
We can hear you. Who is speaking and where are you calling from?
Yeah, so
The network.
reagents also is a problem because in Nigeria we don't have good reagents. So we get our reagents from United Kingdom and also United States because there whatever you get is guaranteed. But if you try to spend your money on reagents in Nigeria, you will always fail. So electricity, good reagents, and also the young people, they are not as excited, they are not as dedicated as us, the older generation.
So what advice do you have for the young ones?
It's mentorship, very important, because I'm a full professor. I spend sometimes 3 to 6 hours in my lab,
We don't have that dedication.
No dedication. In fact, before I came here, 20 minutes ago I was in my lab. I came straight. And most people know in University of Maiduguri, you go there to my office, you don't find me in my office, you find me in my lab. So this, you have to spend time, because we are all smart people. So the time you spend there is very important. Yes.
So, Prof, doing research in Nigeria has got a lot of challenges. And at the same time, your lab is in Maiduguri, Borno State, which has been a region with a lot of crises in the past. How have you been able to keep your motivation so high?
Yes, funding is key because, as you know, in developed countries they spend a lot. But we are fortunate that General T.Y. and Juma Foundation actually awarded us 34 million naira, and we use that to buy some of these reagents. Still we push on, and once there are problems and challenges we solve and move ahead. And presently I have 5 students who are doing their masters, and they are graduating this year, and we graduated 2 PhDs, even though we sent them at that time the lab wasn't ready. They went to US to spend about 6 months to return, and they are now PhD holders in cancer research. But the 5 that are currently in my lab, they did everything in Nigeria. So we don't have to go to United States. We don't have to go to UK or Japan to do the state-of-the-art research. So Maiduguri is the place to do. And I have students coming from Bayero University, Kano, one from University of Ibadan, and also another one from Lagos to do their cancer research in Maiduguri.
Okay. Before we round up, I want you to advise the young scientists. I think you're a role model, a father, a scientist. I think it will go a long way.
Yes. The young people, what I'll tell them, and Dr. Mahmoud knows that very well, is that they have to really forget about making money. Research is not about making money now. But believe me, once they are successful, they will see the reward. Because I grew up here in Maiduguri. I ended up in the United States, and I was making good money. I don't have to mention how much, but I was living comfortably. And I used to visit Ahmadu Bello University using my own money, because I was comfortable. But the passion you have and the zeal to help other people who are less fortunate should be the driver. It's not money. It's not about money. And eventually you will make the money. But so my advice to them is passion, dedication, hard work, because we are all smart and we have to really help the society. For how long will Nigeria be dependent on US and UK? Nigeria used to be better than UK and US Because when I was in Ahmadu Bello University, even foreigners were coming to Ahmadu Bello University. The engineering department was one of the best in the world. The same thing with pharmacy program. At that time, Professor Oswili came from the UK. So we want really establish state-of-the-art research to train this youth. But they have to really come and show us that they have the desire to be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. I think we have come to the end of today's episode of Ask a Scientist. So thank you very much on behalf of the sponsors of this program, that is Science Communication Hub Nigeria, in partnership with Trend in Africa and Swift Relief Foundation, supported by the University of Sussex. I am Zulay Salisu Mustafa, signing up on behalf of our DCA, Stephen, and our engineer for the day, Engineer Abuja. Do have a nice day.
Thank you.